Lesson 71, Powers of Fractions, Roots of Fractions. Remember, an expression that has an exponent is called an exponential expression. You hear that word exponent in exponential. If we write 2/3, or 2 to the third power, the 2 is called the base. The 3 is called the exponent. The expression literally means not 2 times 3, 2 times 2 times 2. An exponent indicates how many times it's being multiplied by itself. Value, 8. Sometimes we use the word power to describe the value of an exponential expression. We can say the third power of 2 is 8 or something like that. Sometimes the word power means exponent. If we write 2 to the third, we can say 2 raised to the third power to sound fancy. Fractions can do this too. What if I had 2/3 raised to the third power? What does that mean? Well, it's that same fraction. Treat it like as if it was the way we did with a whole number. And you're going to multiply it by itself how many times? How many times it's indicated by our exponent? 3 times. There's no canceling we can do in this problem. We simply have that 8 that we had before, but now we have 3 cubed on the bottom, which will come to 27, and this cannot be reduced. If we have 3/4 to the third power, we're going to do it the same way, just one more time to see this, to visualize this. Okay, 3 times because the exponent 3, the base was 3/4, 27 over 64 also cannot be reduced. When we use the radical, let me get rid of all this. You know what the radical sign looks like? It's this check mark looking symbol. When we use that radical, we ask a question: what number used as a factor how many times equals the given number? So we'll have a number under here, and we'll have what's called an index over here. If there's nothing there, we assume the index is 2. If they do write something there, such as maybe 4, it's the 4th root. So in the example here, the 4th root of 64, literally asking what number used the index number of times, 4 times, will get me to the multiple 64. What times what times what times what is 64? How did I know how many blanks, how many times I would do it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, can I do this with fractions? Absolutely. Just like we just learned with exponents, this can all be done with fractions. What if I do the 4th root of 1 over 64? What will that be? I just realized that I did this incorrectly. This should have been the 3rd root. Sorry about that. Let's make this the 3rd root too, so we don't make the same mistake again. Because 4 times 4 is already 16. Times 4 is going to be 64. 4 won't fit into 64. So there is no 4th root of 64 that's even. It's going to be a decimal or maybe even an irrational number. But 3rd root, why don't I just get this erased and we make it look neat because we're neat in this class. 3rd root of 1 over 64 is going to be 1 over, what do you think? 1 over 4, because it's saying what expression used 3 times? 1, 2, 3 will be 1 over 64. Now what if we take the third root of a number with a numerator and a denominator that isn't just 1? Same thing, we're going to find, well, what times 3 times is going to give me 8, and what times itself 3 times is going to give me 27. As was before, 2 times 2 times 2 is going to be that 8. And 3 times 3 times 3 is going to be that 27. So the cubed root of 8 over 27 is 2 over 3. What times itself 3 times will give me 8 over 27? What number used as a factor 3 times equals this given number? Okay, pick 3 practice problems, please. This shouldn't be too challenging.